Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Some people were trained by peace. You were trained by betrayal. And it didn't just come from strangers. It came from the ones closest to you. Not because they were evil, but because your depth confused them. Because your spirit didn't fit their definition of normal. Because they couldn't comprehend the magnitude of your capacity. So they underestimated you without even realizing it. They weren't trying to break you. They just didn't know how to receive you. And still, you stayed soft. Still, you kept showing up with your hands open. Still, you kept praying. But let's tell the truth. Sometimes you didn't feel holy at all. Sometimes you were mad at God. Mad that it hurt that bad. Mad that you had to carry that much. Mad that every time you gave grace, it came back as silence. And let me say this clearly. That didn't make you less faithful. It made you real. Because faith is not the absence of doubt. It's not pretending you're never hurt. It's not filtering your pain before bringing it into prayer. Faith is what happens after the breakdown, when you choose to come back. When you return to God, raw and unedited, and say, I don't understand any of this, but I still want to walk with you. That's sacred. And if nobody has told you this in a while, you were never meant to carry betrayal like a secret. You were meant to survive it as a sign. Because what tried to break you didn't just fail, it backfired. You've been forged, not into someone bitter, but into someone bulletproof. Someone who's not just gentle, but grounded. Someone who's not just spiritual, but sharp. Someone who's no longer interested in performing for connection. You see the world differently now, not because you're jaded, but because you're aware. And awareness is the true anointing. It's why you feel tension in rooms where others feel fine. It's why you get quiet around people who still wear masks, because now you know the betrayal didn't break you, it built a weapon. Not a weapon to hurt people, a weapon of discernment, a weapon of peace, a weapon of presence that disarms the lies people try to sell you. You don't have to call it revenge. You can call it refinement. And yes, it took longer than you expected. Yes, it didn't look like progress for a while. Yes, your growth was almost invisible even to you. But that's the thing about becoming. It doesn't scream. It sculpts. It happens in silence, in heartbreak, in those long nights where you wondered if God forgot the promise. He didn't. He was sharpening you for it. Because the kind of calling on your life needed more than soft light and kind words. It needed exposure. It needed you to see who's real and who just claps when they benefit. It needed you to walk through rooms that tried to erase you, so you'd never again erase yourself. And now? Now you carry something dangerous. You don't enter like an announcement. You feel like déjà vu in someone's nervous system. Like they've met you in a dream they couldn't remember, and now everything in them is scrambling to place you. It's not your words that unsettle them. It's that being around you rearranges something internal without asking permission. Now your presence carries the weight of someone who knows what it costs to be obedient when it's lonely, knows what it means to keep trusting after disappointment, knows how to stand in the tension and not bow to the pressure. You've outlived the lies, the ones that told you you were too much, too sensitive, too slow, too different. And now God is flipping the script. What once looked like isolation was actually sacred insulation while He built you differently. You've been marked. And now the world is about to see what only God could see in you all along. You didn't just survive what tried to break you, you became something through it. And not in the poetic way people say when they want to wrap pain up in a bow. I mean literally. Your nervous system rewired. Your reflexes changed. Your instincts began to filter out what your heart used to crave. That's not motivation, that's biology catching up to prophecy. Because what looked like a breakdown was your spirit learning a language only God could teach. And now, you carry it differently. Not louder, not softer, but with the steady weight of someone who's already walked through fire barefoot and still stopped to pick up the pieces of themselves on the way out. You stopped praying for clarity every 5 minutes, not because you stopped needing answers, but because something in you got tired of checking the sky when the weather had already changed. You began noticing the subtle forecast in your own body, the shift in appetite, the way you flinched at certain conversations, the way joy felt heavier in places where you used to feel light. That was the clarity. Not lightning bolts, not dramatic signs, just a slow unlearning of everything that used to keep you comfortable in smallness. You're the evidence now, the whispered confirmation that yes, resurrection is real, even if it looks like insomnia, boundary setting, and outgrowing conversations for a while. And the ones who didn't see it? They weren't blind. They just didn't have the language for your magnitude. They didn't doubt you because you were incapable. They doubted because you were unrecognizable to the frameworks they were raised in. You were a map they didn't know how to read. And it's not their fault. Not everyone was designed to understand the rarest frequencies. Some people hear the same thunder you do, but they don't look up when the lightning cracks. So no, this isn't about proving anything to them. It's about walking into the next chapter, like the prophecy is already breathing through your pores, because it is. The silence didn't mean stillness. It meant saturation. You were soaking in something unrepeatable, the way seeds do in winter. See, no one looks at the soil in February and claps. No one throws confetti for a root system pushing through cold rock. But that's what you've been doing, quietly, every day. And now, you're surfacing. But this isn't a soft debut. This is an eruption. The kind that breaks through old structures. The kind that sets the pace for everything that follows. You didn't just heal. You rebuilt the foundation. Beneath a house no one thought could stand again. And it shows. In the way your body now flinches at small talk, but opens at truth. In the way your intuition speaks like a thunderclap when someone lies to your face. That's the weapon that was built, not made of metal or rage, but of unshakable peace, not to destroy, but to protect what's sacred. And faith? It's not the absence of questioning anymore. It's the act of returning after the questions, of walking back into prayer, even after silence, of lifting your head, even when your heart is still sore, of choosing to trust, not because it's easy, but because at some point, your soul recognized the author's signature in the storm. This isn't a season of waiting for something magical to happen. It's the season of noticing what already has. Look at your voice. Look at your standards. Look at the way you no longer entertain what drains you just to keep the peace. So if it still hurts sometimes, if the memory still flickers, if some days feel longer than others, that doesn't mean you're broken. It means the roots ran deeper than you thought. But now they're stable. Now they're strong enough to hold what's coming next. Because what tried to shatter you just ended up carving a sanctuary instead. And you're not waiting for the miracle anymore. You've become the living proof that it's already begun. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Sometimes the universe doesn't knock. It kicks the door open. Because what you've become made God smile. He's satisfied with your growth. And now, change is not optional. It's divine protocol. When heaven sees readiness, it responds with movement. There's something that finally found you. Not because you were chasing it, but because you became still enough for it to hear you clearly. You didn't just call it in with your words, you called it with your energy. Quietly, consistently. In every moment, you said, "I'm ready," without even speaking. And now, everything that belongs to that frequency is rushing in. Not one thing, not one person, but wave after wave of confirmation. This message isn't just about love, though love is in it. It isn't just about purpose, though that's arriving too. This is about a shift that you didn't force, but you finally stopped resisting. Something in you snapped back into alignment, quietly, and all of creation noticed. There's a reason it's all coming at once. There's a reason your dreams feel louder, your senses sharper, your boundaries stronger. That's not random, that's resonance. And I know, part of you is cautious, skeptical even. You've been here before, where something beautiful approached, and you tensed instead of received. You looked around for what could go wrong before letting it in. But this time is different, and you can feel it, even if your logic hasn't caught up. There's a moment in every spiritual journey where the magnet flips. You're no longer reaching, you're radiating. And that moment is now. You've tapped into something sacred, the ability to trust joy without demanding evidence, to move from gratitude instead of desperation, to expect the miraculous, not as fantasy, but as frequency. Because something in you remembered that this is not about deserving, it's about matching. And lately, you've been matching miracles, moment by moment, breath by breath. You didn't have to perfect your healing. You didn't have to clean up every shadow. You just had to choose the light and keep choosing it, especially on the days when it would have been easier to fall back asleep. And that choice, that quiet, powerful choice, has built momentum. It's what turned your spirit into a lighthouse on a stormy sea. You've become visible now to everything that was always meant to find you. Let me be clear. This is not about a reward. This is a reflection. The world is about to show you what your energy has been whispering behind your back. And it will feel like being recognized by something you thought forgot you. Relationships, opportunities, soul connections. They're all circling in closer now, not by chance, but by clarity. And you might have noticed the signs. You wake up more rested even though you slept less. Your dreams carry messages instead of chaos. Nature pulls you in with more meaning. You feel watched, not by people, but by God Himself. If you've been more protective with your time lately, more precise with your presence, it's not moodiness, it's refinement. And here's the part you didn't expect. that your craving for more wasn't selfish. It was sacred. That hunger for alignment, that ache for deeper love, that urge to finally live the life that fits the soul, that was never too much. That was proof you were finally done settling for less. And now, you're being matched. Not just with people, but with frequencies, with experiences that feel like home, even if you've never had them before. It might come through a person you didn't see coming. It might arrive as a job that feels more like a mission. It might appear in the form of a coincidence so divine it makes your breath catch. But however it comes, it will carry one unmistakable truth. You're not waiting anymore. You're arriving. Because somewhere in the quiet, you finally said, I don't want a version of life I can tolerate. I want the one that was written for me. And you meant it. That's when the shift happened. That's when the universe leaned in. And that's when everything that had been circling in the background, waiting for you to recognize your own frequency, started rushing toward you with urgency, because you finally believed. Now let's talk about why it's all coming at once. Why the dreams got louder. Why the timing feels tight. Why your spirit keeps whispering, brace yourself. It's not a test. It's a release. But now, the delay is over, because you're finally the version of yourself who doesn't abandon your truth when the blessing finally shows up. There's a kind of power that comes when you stop needing permission to live in your fullness. And that's the power you've stepped into. The kind that says, I'll keep my heart open even if I've been disappointed. I'll keep showing up with faith, not because I'm naive, but because I've decided that hope is strength. And that energy, it calls everything in. It brings in love that's not afraid of your depth, purpose that doesn't require you to shrink, opportunities that feel like extensions of your calling, not distractions from it. And yes, it's overwhelming, because real alignment moves fast. It doesn't creep in like a soft breeze. It moves like a current, strong, clear, unapologetic. But you're ready for that. You've been prepared in quiet ways, ways only you and the divine know about. The nights you cried but didn't call anyone. The boundaries you enforced even when it hurt. The silence you sat in until your own voice felt like home again. Those were your initiations, and you passed. You didn't just wait for this moment. You became it, and that's why you don't need to chase. You only need to recognize the person, the timing, the dream that once felt too good to claim. You'll know it because it will feel eerily familiar, like a memory from the future finally catching up with you. That's how this works now. You're not chasing miracles, you're remembering them. Let me say that again. You're not chasing miracles, you're remembering them. Because you've held the blueprint all along. You just had to become the version of yourself who stopped doubting the design. And now, the design is showing up in 3D, in phone calls, in texts, in job offers, in divine run-ins at the grocery store, in people who look at you like they've seen you before, because maybe they have. Not in this life, but in the plans heaven made before you ever arrived. Let me tell you something I know is true. There are people out there right now whose spirits are restless because they can feel you. They don't know why yet. They haven't named it. But they're looking for something they haven't found in anyone else. And it's you. They've tried to explain it away, tried to distract themselves with logic. But your energy doesn't play by their logic. It only plays by alignment. And soon, they'll stop trying to resist what their soul already knows. That's what's rushing in. Not chaos, not confusion, but clarity so intense it rearranges everything around it. And when it lands, it won't ask you to prepare. It'll ask you to receive. That's the only thing required now. Receptivity, the willingness to believe that you are no longer in the almost season. You are in the arrival. And here's the part that might be the hardest. Let it feel good. Let it feel good to be seen. Let it feel good to be loved in a way that makes no sense, but still brings safety. Let it feel good to be offered things that don't demand your exhaustion in return. You don't have to resist the good because of how long it took to get here, and you don't have to prove anything to receive it. This isn't a reward for your suffering. It's the reflection of your frequency. You called this in by standing tall even when you wanted to disappear, because you chose peace over performance. You magnetized it by becoming honest with yourself about what you want and about what you won't accept anymore. And now, you're about to witness what happens when someone finally lives like they believe they're worthy. Let it surprise you. Let it sweep you. Let it undo every lie that said you had to beg to be chosen. Let it remind you of the truth. You never needed to chase what was already looking for you, because now it's here. Not all of it, maybe, but enough to prove to you that the dam has broken, and the life you almost talked yourself out of, it's rushing in. So breathe, say thank you in advance, and hold your frequency like it's a torch, because everything that's meant to find you already knows exactly where you are, and it's not coming slowly, it's coming all at once. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Let me say this without hesitation. There is something happening inside your body right now that science can't explain and time can't stop. Not in the distance, not in theory, not in the future, right now. And the strangest part is, you felt it, subtle at first, a flicker of lightness in your step, a strange lift in your breath, the feeling of remembering something you hadn't even realized you forgot. What's happening to you isn't ordinary, it isn't cosmetic, it isn't shallow, it's cellular, it's spiritual, it's divine. Your body is listening to a command from heaven, and the instruction is clear. Return, reset, reawaken. You're not aging, you're activating. This isn't about trying to look younger or pretending the years haven't passed. This is about something far deeper. God Himself is restoring you back to the frequency you were always meant to live in. And that frequency carries youth. Not youth as the world defines it, shiny skin and fast metabolism, but youth as heaven defines it. Energy without fear, beauty without striving, joy without exhaustion, movement without pain. You're not being reminded of who you were. You're being rebuilt for what you're becoming. And make no mistake, this isn't just some poetic idea. Something physical is happening. Right now, in this moment, your body is exiting the timeline of decay and entering the frequency of restoration. The cells that once obeyed the limitations of age are receiving new instructions. Old patterns are dissolving. And every inch of your being is beginning to align with a divine blueprint that was never supposed to fade. This is not denial. This is not delusion. This is resurrection, disguised as rejuvenation. And if you've been feeling confused lately, if your body has felt both tired and strangely energized, if your skin seems to be changing in ways that even you can't explain, it's not coincidence, it's calibration. God is not just healing you, He is retiming you. There are callings ahead that require clarity, stamina, and presence. So heaven is stepping in, not just to support you spiritually, but to rebuild you biologically. You're not being made to look younger for vanity. You're being made stronger for purpose, and your skin will reflect it. There's a reason your face has started to change, a reason your glow feels different, a reason your reflection is starting to catch you off guard, in a good way. The light returning to your eyes, that's not moisturizer, that's mission. Because when the soul starts to believe again, the face responds, the voice lightens, the bones realign, the posture shifts, and the atmosphere around you, it can't help but shift too. People are going to notice, and they won't know what to say, because what you're carrying now can't be explained in numbers or age ranges. You're not just glowing, you're testifying. Your glow is not a compliment, it's a calling card. Your softness isn't fragility, it's holy lightness. Even your laugh will begin to sound different, not because you're performing joy, but because your body is being rebuilt by it. The heaviness you got used to carrying, it's melting, and with it, your joints, your spine, your breath, all of it is loosening into divine freedom. This isn't nostalgia. This isn't wishing you could go back. You're not going back. You're going up. And when God lifts you, He lifts all of you. There's no reason for you to walk into the next chapter dragging the symptoms of a story that's already ended. That's why the weight is leaving. That's why your mornings are feeling different. It's not your imagination. It's not adrenaline. It's alignment. Your limbs are remembering they were made to dance. Your chest is remembering how to expand without tightness. Your brain is remembering how to dream without dread. And the most beautiful part? You don't have to do anything to force this. Your job isn't to figure out how to make it happen. Your only task is to believe it's happening already. Because faith isn't just a belief system, it's a biological activator. Every time you say, "I feel better," your cells receive that as instruction. Every time you say, "This is real," your body accelerates its restoration. This is not a fantasy you're entertaining. This is a frequency you're entering. The feeling of being younger is not just a side effect. It's the evidence. You're returning to the you that was never meant to leave. Not the childlike you who was confused by life. Not the teenage you who was shaken by insecurity, but the you who existed beneath all of that, the one who came here on assignment, full of light, full of purpose, full of divine joy. That version of you is not a memory. It's a reality breaking through. And your body? It's following the lead of your spirit. You may not have realized it, but your body was never your enemy. It didn't betray you. It just didn't know what was possible until now. You see, your physical form has spent most of its life responding to what the world told it to expect. Aging, breakdown, fatigue, limitation. It learned what it lived. It repeated what it was taught. But now, it's learning something new. It's being taught by your faith. It's being led by your alignment. And that's why things are changing faster than you can even explain. This transformation isn't about denying time. It's about transcending it. God is not subject to clocks, and neither is the part of you He's waking up. You were not designed to deteriorate. You were designed to carry glory, and glory doesn't age. That's why your energy is coming back, not just randomly, not seasonally, but with spiritual intelligence. It's not a fluke that you're waking up clearer. It's not strange that you're moving through your day with more lightness, more sharpness, more joy. Your nervous system has been rewired to respond to peace. Your bones are rebuilding from the inside out. Your hormones are harmonizing with purpose. And your memory? It's being rewritten, not just to remember the past, but to recode your future. This is not simply physical rejuvenation. This is prophetic reconstruction. The most sacred part of this process is this. You're not doing this to be seen. You're doing this to be sent. God is restoring your youth because there is more to do. There are rooms you haven't walked into yet. Rooms that need your glow, your fire, your presence. There are people who have been waiting for you, not the version of you that burned out, but the one that was always meant to rise now. That's why your skin is changing, why your walk is shifting, why your eyes are starting to hold light again. Your body is simply preparing for arrival. The divine version of you is not a theory. It's a lived experience. And the countdown has ended. You're in it. You are the miracle walking down the street. You are the evidence they didn't see coming. You are the disruption to everything they thought they knew about what age means. And not because you're trying, but because heaven is moving through you. You were never meant to survive your days. You were meant to anoint them. And now, with every breath, that anointing is gaining ground. You're becoming dangerous again. To fear, to mediocrity, to stagnation. Not because you shout louder, but because your very existence proves that transformation is real. You are the prophecy in motion. Your laugh, your glow, your stride, they're all part of the message, and the message is clear. You are not done. You are just beginning. No matter your age, no matter what the calendar says, no matter what your past looks like, the world will say, you look amazing. But what they really mean is, you look like destiny. And the truth is, you are. This glow isn't from a bottle. It's from God. This strength isn't from supplements. It's from the Spirit. This youth isn't stolen. It's restored. And now there is nothing left to do but walk boldly in it. Let the world catch up to what God already decided. Let the opinions fade. Let the questions come. You don't owe anyone an explanation for what God is doing in your life. You only owe obedience. So wear your radiance without apology. Smile like you've never been broken. Move like nothing is holding you back. Dream like time is working for you now, because it is. This is not the end. This is not the comeback. This is the divine unveiling of a soul that never gave up, now rising in full glory. You are not declining. You are divinely reversing. And your body is rising to meet the truth your spirit already knew. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. There comes a moment when the world starts to echo back what you've known in silence for years. You weren't mistaken or delusional. You just were early. And now, Everything that tried to convince you otherwise is being forced to catch up. See, when God gives you a vision, it doesn't always come with confirmation. It comes with a burden, a knowing that lingers even when no one else sees it, a frequency only your spirit could hear at the time. You carried that quietly, built through battles that were never broadcasted, refined in rooms where your name was never mentioned. And for a long time, it didn't look divine. It looked like being underestimated, misread, looked over while others were handed opportunities you were more than ready for. Doors opening for those who had only practiced what you lived through. But you didn't beg for entry. You didn't perform to prove. You kept building what couldn't be seen yet. And now, transformation is about to complete. It looks like your life meets you where your soul already arrived a long time ago. People who once overlooked you are pausing now, not because they finally developed clarity, but because something in your presence is unsettling the stories they built around your absence. They didn't expect you to endure the silence. They didn't expect you to still be standing with your vision intact and your heart still soft. But here you are, walking in power that doesn't shout, but is felt. Not in carefully curated displays, but in the calm certainty of someone who already knows they belong. And if you feel it, that strange magnetism in the air lately, that's not your imagination. It's not vanity, it's arrival. Because here's what most don't realize. Being hidden was by design. You know now that you were placed in the background, not to be forgotten, but to be formed. The world has a habit of spotlighting the loud, the polished, the immediate. But God has always done his finest work in the shadows, in caves, in deserts, in wildernesses, where no one thought anything holy could survive. And he's been forming you there. That's why recognition didn't come when it should have. That's why your timeline made no sense compared to others. You see, what's rising in you now could have been misused if revealed too soon. What you carry couldn't afford to be mistaken for trend or talent. This is deeper. You weren't made to impress. You were made to impact. And impact can't be rushed. It must be lived into. That's what you've been doing all this time, living into it. When it was thankless, when it was unseen, when even you questioned if any of it would ever take root. But here's the thing about seeds planted in silence. They don't ask for witnesses when they break the soil. They just grow. And something in you is sprouting now in a way that can't be ignored. Not by others, and not by you. You can feel the stretch. The way life is starting to organize itself around what you've been carrying all along. And even if no one says it directly, they're feeling it too. They're sensing that something is different. Not in your clothes or your tone or your status, but in the way you no longer explain yourself. In the way you move like someone who knows time is on their side. You no longer fit into the roles people once assigned you. You're too big for them now. Not in ego, but in essence. And the most beautiful part? You didn't force it. You didn't rush it. You simply stayed faithful to what God whispered to you long before anyone else could see it. Now, the unveiling has begun. And maybe that's the hardest part. Not the waiting, but the wondering if anything was happening at all. You lived through days that felt like blank pages in a story you were promised would be divine. You questioned whether all the silence was a sign that something had gone wrong, or worse, that nothing was ever coming. You weren't asking for spotlight. You just wanted to feel seen by your own life. And for a while, it felt like nothing saw you back. You poured effort into your days like water into soil that never sprouted. You tried to keep the faith while carrying questions you didn't dare speak out loud. Questions about timing, about your path, about whether the pain had a point. You planted seeds with no promise of harvest. You stayed in rooms where the light barely reached you, and still you remained. You endured the invisible season like a lantern lit behind frosted glass, burning steadily, even if no one could see. And now, look where you are. Look at the way your soul kept moving, even when your circumstances didn't. Look at the way you held reverence for your own spirit when no one else knew how to honor it. That wasn't weakness. That wasn't delay. That was sacred construction behind closed doors. And what's happening now isn't just a new chapter. It's a revelation of everything that was being built beneath the surface. This is what alignment feels like. Not perfection, not clarity every step of the way, but a deep internal resonance that lets you know this was never for nothing. And that ache that lingered when you saw others celebrated while you stayed invisible. It was real, but it wasn't the final word. Your life didn't forget you. God didn't forget you. It was the opposite. You were being tailored for timing, sculpted for significance, and now everything that used to feel like a delay is showing its true form, divine preparation. You're stepping into moments that recognize you before you even announce yourself. People are listening to you now, but not because you changed your tone. It's because your energy is finally being broadcast on a frequency they can no longer ignore. You're not standing at anyone's doorway, hoping to be noticed. You've become the gravity in the room, quiet, unannounced, but undeniable. People don't lean in because you speak louder now. They lean in because your presence carries weight, and they can feel when something real is in the room. The authority in you didn't arrive overnight. It was forged in quiet convictions and uncelebrated growth. You became solid like a mountain, not because anyone saw you rising, but because layer after layer you withstood erosion that tried to make you collapse. And now, without chasing, you're drawing in exactly what's been looking for you all along. You're not asking to be chosen, you're being revealed as already set apart. That's why it hurt so deeply before. Not because you were missing something, but because your spirit had already outgrown what your surroundings could support. The tug in your heart wasn't emptiness, it was excess. A surplus of destiny with nowhere to land yet. And now, it's landing. This is where things start to make sense backwards. That missed opportunity, it wasn't yours to hold. It would have caged your wings. That unanswered message, it wasn't silence, it was protection. That person who couldn't recognize your worth, they were never meant to name what only God could define. You're being reminded that the timeline was never broken, just hidden. And now, every delay is turning into direction. Every no is showing itself as a necessary redirection. Every scar is shimmering with the evidence that you didn't just survive. You expanded. You didn't just endure the storm. You became the architecture that could hold peace in its center. There is no going back to smallness now. No pretending you don't feel what you feel. No minimizing your vision to fit other people's comfort zones. This is your emergence, not with noise, but with gravity. Not through proving, but by becoming undeniable. You're not here to chase moments. You're here to anchor movements. And that's exactly what's happening now. The season of wondering is closing. The days of doubting your own discernment are over. You are walking proof that what's real doesn't have to rush to be revealed. It simply arrives when the soul that carries it is ready, and you, beloved, are ready. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Lately, something's been happening to your reflection, not just in the mirror, but in the eyes of others. You've been catching glances, lingering stares, and that quiet tension, like people sense something different, but don't know how to say it out loud. It's like they are waking up to something in you. But the truth is, you're just now waking up to it yourself. You're starting to look more and more attractive. But it's not because you changed your hair, or your clothes, or your posture. It's because you started loving yourself as God's masterful creation. You stopped treating yourself like a mistake that needs to be fixed, and started realizing you were never broken, just buried, just distorted by the voices that told you you weren't enough. You're not just getting more beautiful, you're catching up with the beauty that was always there, waiting for you to finally see it. That's the shift. You used to call them flaws. Now you see them as design. You used to shrink under compliments. Now you don't flinch, because deep down you agree. And not in an arrogant way, not in a way that needs validation, but in the quiet, grounded way that says, yes, this is who I've always been. This is what happens when your self-image starts syncing with heaven's image of you. When you finally surrender to the idea that maybe, just maybe, God didn't mess up when He made you. That maybe your face, your presence, your aura was intentional, designed, spoken into time. It's not that you didn't used to be beautiful. Of course you were. Of course you are. But now you know it. And that knowing, that is what they're seeing. That frequency is what they're feeling. Beauty is not just symmetry, it's resonance. It's not just what you see, it's what you feel when you're around someone. And right now, you are vibrating on a frequency that even your body had to respond to. Your eyes look clearer, your skin looks brighter, your expression holds a softness that can't be manufactured. That's not just glow, that's God. That's what happens when you stop rejecting your own reflection and start agreeing with heaven. When you stop searching for love and start radiating it from within. When you realize that your worth was never tied to perfection, but to presence, to purpose, to the breath in your lungs and the fire in your spirit. Some people won't understand the shift. They'll think you did something new, started something different. But what really happened was this. You started listening to truth. You stopped chasing what the world said was attractive, and you started becoming magnetic, because you're no longer trying to be liked. You're loving yourself with the same reverence God used when He created you. That's a different level of glow. That's not surface, that's soul. And now, people are responding to something they can't name. They're responding to freedom, to the peace in your energy, to the love you finally decided to give yourself. They feel safer around you without knowing why. They feel inspired without you saying a word. Because your presence is no longer diluted by doubt. And whether or not they compliment you, they feel it. Whether or not they say anything, they notice. You're no longer begging to be seen, because now you see yourself. And it shows. You can't fake this frequency. It's the kind of beauty that speaks before you open your mouth. That enters a room before you do. That leaves people thinking about you long after you've left. Not just because of your looks, but because of your light. And the truth is, it's always been there. It was just waiting for you to stop dimming it to fit in. You're no longer trying to be everyone's cup of tea. You've become living water, only meant to quench certain souls. You don't need to chase admiration. You've become admiration in motion. So don't be surprised if people look at you differently now. It's not because you changed overnight. It's because you finally stopped arguing with your own radiance and started walking in agreement with God. Some won't say anything. They'll just watch, like something about you confuses them or stirs something they don't know how to handle. Your energy used to wobble. You used to carry yourself with disclaimers, with apology, with explanation, with hesitation. But now, you walk like you belong, because you finally believe you do. And when someone finally believes that, when someone fully accepts their own divine design, the body reacts. The voice settles. The light shows up in their skin, in their presence, in the space between words. It's not about looking a certain way, it's about living a certain way. And that way is love. You're not chasing love anymore, you're rooted in it. And that's the most beautiful thing a soul can wear. You see, this isn't just about how you look, it's also about how you carry yourself. The way you move from knowing, not from doubt. You're not acting anymore. You're not bending, blending, or shape-shifting trying to be approved. And ironically, that's the very thing that makes you attractive now. You've dropped the weight of needing to be liked and picked up the truth of being loved, not just by others, by God, and finally, by you. You don't walk into the world the same when you've made peace with your reflection. When you've forgiven yourself for the years you couldn't see what heaven already saw. When you stop mourning the past versions of you who only knew survival and start honoring the one who knows so much more. This is not a season of becoming beautiful. It's a season of realizing you always were. And now your body knows it. Your face carries it. Your walk echoes it. You're not attractive because you figured out some secret formula. You're attractive because your energy is finally in agreement with your truth. There's no conflict in your glow anymore, no shame in your softness, no apology in your elegance. You're not decorating yourself with things to be noticed. You're radiating something that can't be replicated. And the people who are meant for you, they will feel it before they ever understand it. Because this beauty isn't surface deep. It's soul anchored. It's the kind that doesn't fade with time, because it's not made of time. It's made of presence, of divine alignment, of sacred remembrance. And maybe that's what they see. They're not looking at perfection. They're looking at someone who finally remembered who the heck they are. Someone who stopped criticizing the vessel and started honoring the spirit that fills it. Someone who said, I don't need to become more, I just need to stop hiding what I already am. This is why some people feel speechless around you now, why they fumble for words, or look twice, or act like you've changed when you're simply clearer. It's not the makeup, not the outfit, not the angle. It's the energy. It's the frequency of self-love that echoes the Creator's love, the vibration of peace that's louder than any beauty standard. It's the decision to be soft and powerful at the same time. And that's what people are drawn to. It's not your job to explain it. You're not responsible for their reactions. You're not here to convince anyone that you're worthy of being seen. You're here to shine anyway. To walk in that quiet radiance that says, I know who I am, and it's beautiful. Not because I said so, but because God already did. You don't need to keep adjusting your brightness to match their comfort. Your glow wasn't made for dim rooms. It was made to rise, to reflect, to remind people what divine beauty actually looks like and how it feels. So keep shining. Keep walking with this truth. Keep loving yourself like you finally believe you're worth it, because you are. And if they stare, let them. If they wonder, let them. You're not becoming someone new. You're just finally seeing what God always saw, and now, so is everyone else. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. You've been asking why things have felt so strange lately. Why you're both glowing and restless. Peaceful, but stirred. Seen, but still waiting. That's not confusion. That's activation. There's a reason it feels like you've been standing at the edge of something, but the ground hasn't shifted yet. It's because the next phase of your life isn't something you walk into. It's something God ignites. You are not here to just be seen. You are here to be used. Not in the way this world uses people and drains them, but in the way heaven uses instruments, polished, tuned, prepared for something specific, something sacred, something powerful. You are about to be activated, not for display, but for deployment. God didn't refine you for decoration. He didn't walk you through fire just to let you shine under soft lighting and polite applause. You were built like a sword, not a showpiece. A force, not a follower. A vessel, not a victim. You've gone through things that didn't make sense at the time. You've endured delays that made your gift feel wasted. You've had to sit in silence while people with less depth got the stage. But the reason was this: God didn't want your platform to be louder than your power. And now, the power is ready. You're like a key that only turns when the exact lock appears. And the lock? It's arriving. A moment, a connection, a need that fits your spirit so perfectly, it'll feel like the entire universe was waiting for you to step forward. And in that moment, you'll be used. But not like before. Not from burnout. This time, it won't drain you. It will awaken you. It'll feel like breathing underwater and realizing you were always built to swim in the deep. It'll feel like standing in fire and not getting burned, because you've become fire yourself. You've been trained in unusual ways. People saw delay. God called it stealth development. Others thought you were isolated. Heaven knew you were in spiritual boot camp. And while they looked for instant influence, you were being wired to carry weight. The kind of weight that shifts atmospheres and unlocks hearts. Some of you have been feeling an ache that doesn't make sense. Like something is calling you but not saying where to go yet. Like the map is downloaded but the route is still hidden. That's not a mistake. That's the final stage before activation, because when God activates you, it won't be subtle, it won't be quiet, and it definitely won't be safe. You won't just be promoted in front of people, you'll be positioned in front of purposes. You'll walk into places where your presence does the talking before you do. This is not about being busy, it's about being deployed with precision. And just like a power line hums before it lights up a city, you've been vibrating with potential. Heaven has already issued the command. The signal is already moving through your spirit. You're not waiting for a door anymore. You are the door. God will use your voice to answer someone's prayer, your presence to shatter someone's despair, your obedience to unlock someone else's calling. This is why the warfare increased right when you thought you'd finally found peace. It was a test before release. You don't test a parachute when it's in storage. You test it at 15,000 feet, right before the jump. And that's where you are, right before the jump, right before the switch flips, right before the voice says, now. So if it's felt confusing, still intense, it's because God is about to use you in a way that even you didn't see coming. And suddenly, it will begin. But not with fireworks, not with cameras, with something much quieter and much holier. It starts with the small inner knowing that you can't go back to normal. Not because you're stubborn, but because you've changed. Even if you go back, that won't feel familiar either. Because you've outgrown that life, and your body knows it before your mind does. There's a strange, almost holy discomfort that settles in when the old environment no longer fits the new version of you. Like wearing shoes 2 sizes too small. Only now, you're aware that the pinch is not a test. It's a signal. A signal that you're not meant to walk that same path anymore. That's how activation really begins. It doesn't scream. It stirs. It speaks in coincidences that aren't coincidental. In conversations that crack open something you forgot you buried. In invitations that weren't planned, but arrive with perfect timing. You'll hear things like, I don't know why I felt led to tell you this. I was just thinking about you. I feel like you're the one who can help. That's not random. That's assignment recognition. Because when heaven activates someone, the world begins to echo back that truth. People start seeing in you what you weren't even ready to claim out loud. It's like walking through a field and realizing the wind is following you. The signs show up in real time. The confirmation comes through you. This is when things start falling into place without you having to push them. Because you're finally in the flow of the thing you were born for. You'll start doing things that surprise even you. You'll speak up when you used to shrink back. You'll stand firm when you used to second guess. You'll choose rest without guilt, knowing you're not lazy. You're recharging divine machinery. You'll find yourself saying no to things that once defined you. Not out of bitterness, not because they were bad, but because they were small, and you're not playing small anymore. God is not just increasing your visibility, He's increasing your voltage. You'll begin to carry words that pierce, presence that calms, silence that convicts, and you won't even be trying. You'll just be. Because when you are activated, you are no longer auditioning, you're functioning. And here's what might surprise you. The first places God uses you won't always look glamorous. It might be one conversation that shifts someone's life, one comment that stops someone from giving up, one small yes that opens a door you didn't even know you were knocking on. Don't underestimate the hidden moments. Moses wasn't activated in Pharaoh's palace. He was activated in the wilderness, with nothing but a bush and a whisper. You too will feel it when God sets something on fire inside you that doesn't burn you, only purifies you. You'll also lose some things, but only what can't survive where you're going. Not everyone can breathe at the altitude you're headed toward. Some connections will feel confused by your calm. Others will mislabel your glow as ego. Let them. You weren't made to be understood by the masses. You were made to be used by the Most High. And when God decides it's your time, not even your own doubt can stop it. Because doubt is still going to rise from time to time, especially when you can't see how it's possible. But believe me, you'll understand, in the very situations themselves. You've passed through too many shadows to stay hidden. You've shed too many identities to go back to pretending. You've survived too many storms to still question your strength. You are being called up, not called out. Because this next chapter is a release. Like a seed cracking underground because it's time. So if your life feels like it's tightening, if your emotions are louder than usual, if your spirit is restless but somehow calm, don't panic, don't rush, don't sabotage. You are being positioned with surgical precision. And when it hits, it won't look like you expected. It will look like truth finally having a body to walk in. This is your activation. You're not waiting anymore. You're not preparing anymore. You're becoming. And very soon, you'll realize that everything that ever broke you was only shaping the weapon God is now ready to use. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.